Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
WMAL. 8:37, it's O'Connor and Company. Great to be back here from vacation, and we're going to be connecting with Scott Jennings momentarily, so chill out, everybody, and wait for him to connect here. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. It's a bit of a dance party here, actually, Julie. I don't know if you knew that or not. Oh, I'm seeing that Ellen DeGeneres might be turning back from England and moving back to the United States of America. I remember when she and Portia de Rossi announced dramatically that they were leaving to go to England because Trump, et cetera, et cetera. Well, hey, Professor Jeff, I know that you're connecting with Scott. Just why don't we bring the music down here, and why don't we bring Julie up?
There we go.
And then you can connect with our guest, and then everything will be good.
Oh,
No, it's
Ellen
all right.
DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Goodness gracious.
And speaking of the two of them, we've got some Meghan Markle news coming up, too. They're all sort of, weren't they all neighbors for a while there?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Montecito, I think.
Yeah.
Did you see the turkey nightmare that
and
the Duchess
honestly,
of Sussex put out for
yeah,
Thanksgiving?
and I rarely defend her. I think this is the case of people going, so apparently people gave her a hard time because she filmed preparing her turkey and she kept her rings and bracelets on. The bracelets are gross. You take your bracelets off.
She did more than that, though. She didn't wash. I mean,
you don't
when
have
you're
to wash
handling
the turkey.
The innards of a turkey, you're not supposed to then, okay, and now I'm going to grab my bowl and I'm going to grab my utensils and I'm going to.
Oh, she didn't wash in between.
Whole lot of cross contamination going on there. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, that's a fake turkey. No one ate that. It went directly into the garbage can. She had chefs and cooks.
Because the Secret Service wrestled her to the ground when she tried to give Harry a drumstick. He's still sort of in line for the crown. You can't do that.
Is he? I don't think so.
I mean, if a tragedy took place, theoretically.
Maybe.
Which I
Maybe
think
they
is still
haven't
her
filled out
plan,
the paperwork.
by the way.
Maybe they haven't filled out the paperwork.
No, I don't think Gordon Ramsay is going to be rivaled at any time soon.
I do think Meghan Markle, look, I am not about to defend Meghan Markle. Gosh, write it down, right? But I do think to some degree, anything that woman does is going to be criticized.
That's fair. Well, you know what? That's how the left and Democrats treat Scott Jennings on CNN. He's basically the Meghan Markle of political commentary on the cable news network.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
It was literally the first thing I heard, that I'm the Meghan Markle of political commentary. I don't know if this means I'm like super attractive, but underneath I have nothing to say and serve no purpose in society.
Oh, well, no, it's a lot of people. People don't know this about you, but you started your career as one of the briefcase girls on Deal or No Deal. That's the only connection I was making.
That's right. Yeah.
Scott Jennings joins us now. His book, what a great title for a book, A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. Scott, thanks for joining us, of course, and thanks for writing the book. Is this oftentimes, do you find yourself having to explain that this? I love this about the way you go about your job, is that it almost seems like you're trying to explain to everyone around the table exactly what's going on instead of defending. It's not a question of defending Trump. It's sort of making other people understand why he's doing what he's doing.
It's a good observation. And what I have found is that often my debating partners live in such a small bubble. I call it the Blue Anon bubble. That they legitimately are not aware of certain facts, certain occurrences, certain realities in which the rest of us are operating. And so a lot of the conversations are just me filling in the blanks for them. And I've walked in there on a number of occasions and said, have you all seen such and such statement or this video or this story? And literally no one at the table has any idea what I'm even talking about. And so it's like these kids that go to college, but they can't do like eighth grade math. I'm like now teaching remedial politics here at the table so we can even have a conversation about it. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, Scott, I think one of the things that you do so brilliantly is that they will say something, the other guests will say something like, no one likes Trump. Trump is, his approval. And then you'll just come back very calmly with the data, with the polling. And are they not looking at that? Or is it just spouting off lies? I think you've already answered this. Like they just say stuff without any facts behind it.
My favorite genre of liberal punditry is, well, all of my friends who voted for Trump 3 times are calling me and telling me they didn't know he was going to deport the illegals. I mean, like it's my favorite. Like, really, they voted for him 3 times and have been a sentient human being in the United States for the last 10 years, and you didn't know he was interested in immigration enforcement? I mean, come on. At this point, it's lies. And the idea that Republicans or his base are not happy with him, it runs afoul of the data. And oftentimes, it's data that we, CNN, have put on the air ourselves.
Right.
And so I find myself like, okay, let me read to you CNN's latest report on this very topic. So instead of your vibes or your feelings about your supposed Trump voting friends, let me just tell you what the numbers say. Not someone else's numbers, our numbers. It's quite embarrassing.
Scott, you're under fire now from the Bulwark crowd too. You and Tim Miller have gone back and forth over the weekend. He's calling you names, you're calling his name. Shed a little light, because we're here in Washington D.C. We do conservative commentary, but we're very well aware of sort of the establishment and never Trump crowd that probably just looms here in Washington. It's not really relevant elsewhere. But you've sort of had to navigate this yourself.
Well, look, there's a group of Republicans or former Republicans who decided that because they were not liking Trump or he wouldn't hire them or whatever, or that there was money to be made off of Democratic donors, which is what Tim and the Bulwark decided, that they were going to basically set up an industry to explain to conservatives why, in order to save the Republicans or save the conservative movement, we all had to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And it is argument I've ever heard, and it is an argument born of a desire to make money. Because I'll tell you one thing I've learned in the last 10 years: there is no end to rich Democratic donors who want to be told fairy tales. You just give me another $1 million and I'll get all the Republicans to turn against Trump. Yeah. They've been told this story for a decade, and that Bulwark crowd is part of that story, and they keep falling for it. So I understand their business model, which is tell Democratic donors we can turn all the Republicans against Trump, and they make money off that. But what I don't understand is how any rational human being could decide, I think I will vote for Kamala Harris in order to save the conservative movement, which is the dumbest thing it's the dumbest thing I heard last year, and it's still the dumbest thing a year later. I mean, honestly. Yeah.
The irony is they'll say that you're the one who's cashing out, that you've turned your back on your principles. But I don't know. I look at the stuff that the Trump administration's been able to accomplish in just this first year against all odds. And there's a whole lot of boxes on the ledger there for conservatives that got ticked, and they should be pretty happy about, I would think.
Well, what are my principles? Number one, I'm a Republican, and I supported the Republican nominee. The nominee of my party I supported. So there's one thing I continue to do. What else do I like? Low taxes? Yes, Donald Trump cut taxes. Did I always want a conservative majority on the Supreme Court? There's another box check. Did I want somebody to come along and enforce our immigration laws? I mean, under the candidate they supported, they would have continued with open borders. They would have continued with unfettered fentanyl coming over. They would have continued what has been one of the biggest domestic policy disasters of the century, which is letting in all these illegal immigrants and not vetting people coming in from other countries, et cetera, et cetera. That's what they're for. None of this is conservative, by the way.
Right.
And so it was purely a personality dispute with Donald Trump. They didn't like that he didn't come from a certain pedigree of Republican. And look, I am for the Republican that can win. That's what I've always I want a conservative government. And if Donald Trump does what I want 95% of the time, fine. And if Kamala Harris does what I want 0% of the time, not fine. It was an easy call for me.
It's Common Sense, which, by the way, is basically the name of the book. It's Scott Jennings' new book, A Revolution of Common Sense, How Donald Trump Stormed Washington and Fought for Western Civilization. A great Christmas present. Good timing on this, Scott.
Yes.
Everyone should get this book. Real fast, usually when people release a book here in Washington, it's right before they announce their candidacy. When will you announce that you're running for Senate of Kentucky?
Brother, I'm not running for anything but the county line. That's all I'm telling you. I got more that I can say grace over right now. I got to keep these people straight on CNN. I got this radio show I do on Salem every day. I got this book to sell. I got 4 kids and 35 laying hens back home in Kentucky. I got more to say grace over.
I'm selfish. I want you to run for office because I need you to stay in your lane and not be a radio host, all right? We've got enough competition in this business, pal.
I understand. I'm learning from you every day.
Scott Jennings. Get his book, Revolution of Common Sense. Great title for a book, and he's a good man. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
It's 8:46.
Thanks, guys. See y'all later.